Hello, everybody. Ryan Carpenter here with No BS Golf, presented to you by P45 Knuckle Down Golf. Well, it's been a few days, and had gotten real busy, which is good, and had a whole lot of good lessons and things. And boy, I tell you, the amount of stuff from the PGA Championship alone is could take an hour to cover. So, anyways, not going to really get into all that. Great event. Fun to see players having to score, and battle it out coming down the stretch, which was fun, and Xander taking it there. So I think it's a great tournament. I know a lot of folk are been kind of, I don't know, brainwashed, maybe that's the right term or not, but into thinking that these majors have to be like +1, -1 range. It's not true. And, but, to each his own. If you prefer that, fine. I prefer players having to score and win. Period. The end. And to me, that's what we got to see, which was fun. So enjoyable for sure. Fun weekend for sure. Pardon me. So looking forward. Yesterday was banger day. Haven't had one of those days in a long time. I'll tell you that. It was boy, across the spectrum of the entire day, mixed in and out of regular life stuff. Got to meet with 7 different people, and 2 times I would call it a perfect lesson. What's a perfect lesson, anyways? Well, there's no actual definition, but I guess in my own personal judgment, you are capable of determining from review where we're at, what's the next step, what do we need to do, how do we need to do it, what's the right way, what's the wrong way. Pardon me. Have some success in the lesson itself, accomplishing the task at hand, talking about the future and where we want to be at the right time and place and how to move forward, assuming this piece gets put in. And then any type of review capability, getting done with plenty of time to say, what else can we talk about? What else can we discuss? What else can we think about? What else can we be adding to our list to try to see if we can get in, especially with good player. This is a good player. Really good student. Just beautifully coming along. Takes the instruction well, listens very closely, dedicates a lot of time to the process, and it's showing. We're zooming right through his process. So really fun to see. Can't wait. We're not far from another level of work, and it'll be a more fun level. And we got close. We saw ball flight change yesterday, which was fun. So other lesson was it's combination, and it's this helps for us as instructors. Can't get my head correct. And no matter what you do, over time you tend to forget, and you run into these things and you keep remembering. So players tend to have their own kind of perceptions and views and understandings and all kinds of stuff, and you just never know what you really got going on until you're faced with it. And that happened yesterday. 2 times in a lesson with 2 different activities, if you will, or parts of the game. We encountered first of all, we encountered feel versus real many times. Well, what'd you think there? I think I did not better. Better is good. It's still just a little bit, which means you're not off the hook yet. Better doesn't mean you're done. Better means you're not quite there yet. You've done a lot of good trying, and good job for that. But we got to push through. We got to get past this, get eliminated. And in that situation, it was about putting. A 1 degree of miss and impact, and you're missing the putt. Period. The end. And so the little movements that still existed that were hard to detect were still there. They're going to cause missed putts. And so the problem became, well, how are you being able to identify this when you're on your own practicing? I don't know. Well, we got to find a way. It's got to be through some kind of training aid that gives feedback. It's got to be from visual feedback is always the best. So recorded imagery that's replayed automatically, that's easy to see. I have an app for that for my students. But feedback is so crucial to the process. So we were lacking some feedback while this player was trying to attempt. And, the other problem is this player went and played, and that's how it goes. But when you go to play, the game takes over. And if the game says, I got to play, I got to hit a shot, your brain's going to do whatever it takes to try to get the job done. And it's typically going to revert back to the old. And that's what happened. And so I told the player, I had to walk the player through, okay, first objective, accomplish this putt without, flippy-do all over the place. Okay, let's do that. Okay, well, now look at where the ball went. Okay, I did one of those. Yeah, see, so got adjustment, right? That one we can look at. Now, the next putt, clink, flippy-do. You can't count that ball. That one don't count. We know it wasn't measurable because it wasn't accomplished with the objective at hand. So, I've been looking at all of them. Now you can't do that. Get the objective done first, then go measure and see later with that capable skill in hand if you're actually capable of doing it, and then what percentage of, what are we looking at? So there was a double learning there, right? But we definitely learned that feel versus real. I felt like I was doing it. I know. Sorry. Feedback is crucial so that you know what you're doing. Second was bunker. Well, bunker, this was an approach issue more than anything, because the player had, by no accident, really, fear of messing up, probably a lot of reasons, come up with a way to try to get the ball out of the bunker that was just not efficient at all and terribly, yikes. And so we kind of walked through it. The first thing I had to figure out was, well, wait a minute, why did this player just do this? Like, forget about technique for a minute. What are you trying to like? What is the goal of that approach to that swing in the first place? And it was kind of one of a combination of things, and they were all kind of things like, oh, well, okay, well, so your objective is really not correct. Your purpose of swinging while in this bunker, not correct as well, and then technique on top of it. So we had to go beyond technique and come back to technique later, because the approach, the analysis of the situation, the thought processes were already putting this player behind, not in a good space. So we walked through it. Again, this is why I don't teach. I don't set up 30 minutes and then walk away. If it takes 2 hours, it takes 2 hours. So be it. And so we kept going and went through a bunch of no ball. Okay. Again, no ball. Forget about the ball. Let's get the job done. Focus on a better approach. What are we trying to truly accomplish here? What's the realistic goal? Get it out of the bunker. If it goes long, it goes long. That's fine. That's better than leaving it in the bunker again. Okay. I'd rather have to hit a chip from on the other side of the green back to the hole every time. And, I want to get close. I hear you, but you got to be able to get 50 balls out of the bunker without fail before we start talking about, well, how do we get it really close? We're not. There's only so much you can accomplish in one situation. So, and it didn't matter because once we got through it and we did a bunch of the drills to try to get comfortable with the basic swing idea, and there's still flaws in the swings. But in this situation, it don't matter because we're hitting sand, not ball. Right? Hopefully you all know that, right? No ball. Guess what? Don't look at a ball in a bunker because you're going to hit it if you do. And got to the end. And it was great. And had a bunch of swings rocking and finally sand flying and feeling good about going ahead and hitting it because you know what? You ain't hitting the ball anyways. So we now know it isn't going to go 92 yards. It's only going to go like 15 yards maybe. So we had to completely rewrite, The computer board had a set of instructional things in there and said, nope, wipe it clean and start over. No. And we had to reestablish a whole new set of guidelines for that computer there. So that's what your brain is. And so Got to the end and went through the drill with ball, and bam, one after another. Ball just beautiful little fly up in the air, landing up there on the green or on the inside of the green. Every single one of them was coming out clean as a whistle. Well, we had enough time. I said, you know what? Hold on a second here. We're going to do something else. I said, you come on back here for a minute, please. And I said, we're going to go out of the bunker, behind the bunker, over to this not grassy area, by the way. There ain't no fluff. Players don't understand they play these hard pans in these non-grass areas. Yeah, first of all, you shouldn't be playing golf like that. But this is the situation we were facing. So we went to this kind of little, less grassy area and said, look here. We've been over pitched before. What do? We make a few adjustments, right? Ball position, weight position, hand position, so on and so forth. I said, what are we really doing with the pitch, though? Aren't we just trying to hit high and soft and land it? Yeah. I was like, isn't that kind of like what we just did in this bunker? She's like, well, yeah, except you hit the ball. Bingo, exactly right. The main significant difference. Not all the stuff, because she didn't even want to do it. She's like, well, what about all the face angles? And that's like 10th grade. We're in kindergarten right now. Let's get you out of the bunker first, consistently and confidently. Then we'll start messing around with ball position and how much sand versus not and face angle and how that affects and applying that to the path and the so-ons and the blah, blah, blah. We ain't there yet. So we took a realistic approach. Well, right there, that little pitch, one of the hardest pitches in the world, you're trying to come over a bunker and land it to a pin short, and instead of going 40, 50 yards, way out. And I said, this is simple. Just hit the ball now instead and do the same thing you basically was doing. Bam, she started hitting these beautiful pitch shots, one after another, just pretty little pitch shots. And so I ended it by saying, look, you haven't mastered this. You're doing good. We worked really hard today and got to the end of this, and all of a sudden we had some incredible success. Now you got to be able to come back and redo it on your own. That's the trickier part. You got to go through the process that we went through today. You don't just throw down balls and start swinging. No. Think, focus, feedback, make your time quality. Make it count, just like we did today. I can't be there when you're practicing, so you got to find a way to do this the same way we did it here today. So we accomplished a lot. Had goals set, how to do, what to expect, what to look for, what to know, what to blah, blah, blah. Rewired the brain, everything. And had some success right in the place. So it was a great day. The others were a lot of tweaking lessons, so those are the easy ones, to be honest. Phone call, chat. What's going on out there in the field of play? Well, I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. But there's just, for whatever reason, there's just a little bit of this. Yeah, okay. Look at video here. Let me ask you a question. You aiming a little bit, blah, blah. No, not really. Maybe a little bit that if I sometimes. Okay, fair enough. And really just had to boil it down to one of the two key main things. Is it path or face, or is it something else? And in my opinion, based off what I saw, I thought it was kind of a face control issue. And so we kind of picked something out and said, hey, remember, drill so-and-so from back 10 years ago? Yeah, I can't remember that. Okay, well, show me the drill first. Yep. Yep, that's the idea. There you go. Feel a little different? Yeah, for sure. Feels more stable. Okay, well, there you go. So we already got a field recognition right out of the gates. So, all right, now you think you can do that, but take like a 7-iron and hit it like 100 yards, basically. Yeah, I can do that, sure. I figured. All right, show me what you got. And sure enough, hit about 10 in a row. Looked fine, basically. All right, go to the range. Come on, tell me what you got. And knowing this player, it'll probably be a simple text that'll be like, fixed. See you in a couple months. That simple. When you spend enough time with players, when you've already been through the hard part is the beginning process. The easy part is the many, many years that come later. And when you've spent that kind of time with people, because they've committed, they made the choice, they wanted their games to be a whole lot better. And I'm talking a whole lot better. And at that point, I've had enough time. And that's the problem with even in day one. Day one's fun. I got 2 of them today. Two evaluation lessons scheduled. And they're great. But even in day one, you can give me 2 hours and I still ain't got enough time to dive into somebody's brain and figure out what the heck's going on. It's not enough time. Half the reason why we present this as a process-based, ain't nobody got 8 hours a day to go out and work on their game every single day and do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then, okay, maybe I'll give you Sunday off. But nobody has that kind of time, right? So there's the first problem. Second problem, they couldn't afford it if they wanted to. And so because we have to split up this process into little time segments every week or 2 weeks for the most part, that's why it's months, because you only get a tiny amount of time to work with your dang people. And if you think about it, like what if your kid only went to school for 45 minutes a day? They ain't learning jack nothing. So why are we expected to learn everything about golf in 45 minutes on one session sitting on a damn range and then you're off to go play? Like, that ain't going to work. It's not realistic. It's not the entirety. And beyond the fact that the process has to be extended for the realistic aspect of output, it's also, and this comes from experience, I have to work really hard in like the first 3 to 7, it depends on the person, somewhere around 5 lessons on average, and before I really start to understand what the hell I'm working with and who I got in front of me and what are the best ways to take all the information, because I got a lot of it, a ton of information, and then figure out how to filter it down into Sally, Joe, Tom, Susie, whoever. That takes a lot of time. That's why, we had this clinic thingy yesterday too, and they're fun. It's great, and we learned something, and we got a lot of information. In fact, not only did we get a lot of information, she's kind of, oh, well, this is cool. I learned some things, and this is great. And she said, I just, I kind of want to just play for fun. I don't really work out. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Don't worry about the score. In fact, and I walked her through some things. I said, look, with where you're at, you got thrown into the fire. I would never do that. I'd have you playing from like 25, 50 yards. I wouldn't go buy a bunch of golf clubs. I'd take the set over to Brandon. I said I'd send information, just get some basic graphite shafts instead, cut them down just a little bit, get a new grip on her. Grips were worn to hell. They were terrible. You couldn't hold it on with glue in your fingers. Simple things. And forget about all the other stuff. And I'd be like, well, look, there's this thing called Operation 36. And you play 9 holes only. And you 4 on each hole from 25 yards. If you can do that, you move back to 50 later, so on and so forth. It says based off skill, not age group, but we apply it to juniors only. That's crap. Well, one of the things I did say is I got, pro down here at the club. I said, shoot, she's doing it with some of her ladies that are just getting started in this old game. She's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, it ain't. That program is not based off age. It's based off skill level and fun. It's supposed to be fun. She's like, I keep trying to have fun, but it's hard. It's frustrating. I'm like, I know. You shouldn't be playing from the ladies' tees. That makes no sense whatsoever with your skill level. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, what? Yeah, they didn't know that. I'm like, I know they didn't know that. It's not their fault. They just told you what they thought they should tell you. That's why I exist. And so she's like, well, can I go sign up for that? I'm like, shoot, yeah, you can. So I gave her the information over here with Lacey at the club, and she, I think she did Facebook or something. I don't know. Anyways, hopefully she's going to hook up with Lacey and the crew, and I know there's a crew of ladies doing it over there, and so that'll be fun. She said, that sounds like fun. I'm like, yeah, it will be fun, and that's a good thing. So I highly recommend it. I said, yeah, my program's a little more detailed, a little more. I'm shooting 105, and I don't want to ever shoot 105 ever again. It's got to be below 85. Okay, well, 20 strokes. You got it. Let's do this. So anyhow, it was a good day, really good day of lessons, that's for sure. And then a lot of tweaking, man. I was up till midnight tweaking a fella out. So this guy was out in Colorado. The other guy from early early in the morning. He's a character. 3 a.m. in the morning, but 3 a.m. California time. Anyhow, doesn't matter. Fun day. So, for those of you out there that ain't started yet, I highly recommend getting started and think about it as an investment in your golf game in your future. Do you want to get to the point where you're finally playing, 10, 15, 20 shots better? If you do, I know how to get you there. It's you got to put in the work. I'll help you. But you got to put in the time and the effort, make the commitment. That's the number one thing. So, last, I noticed this post, man, there's all kinds of stuff we can go back and talk about. I post all kinds of stuff, but USGA, according to their research, which you already got to be kind of wondering at first, 57% of golfers play tees that are too long, 10, 20, too short. Well, BS on that last one, but whatever. There's a handful of seniors that still whack at a good 250 and they play from nothing. But it's fine. I don't care. That's good. That's how they should be playing, in my opinion. But the big picture is, here's where there's a flaw. It's just like their handicap system has flaws because it became manipulated. So how do you choose the right answer with one club? So the 7-iron, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. Look, here's the problem. Most people are going to say, okay, well, I once in the mountains, downhill, downwind, hit a 7-iron, 197 yards. Yeah, we get it, John. Thanks. But we see you play, dude. And the reality is you're like barely 139. They're not going to choose 139. And they're not going to like the tee selection that goes with it. They're going to say, that's not what we play from. That's the whole point. We know where you play from, but you playing from the wrong spot. First of all, if you took your average and a true average, of course, a combination of all shots for a long period of time, like an entire year minimum, and then you took the average, not the longest or the shortest. Now the other guy will do the other thing. Well, I only hit it like 120. Sometimes he whacks it like 140 pretty good. And he says, well, I should be playing way up there then. I get to move up now. I'd rather that anyways, to be honest, because that's really what it should be. And he's going to have an advantage, though. I mean, that's taking advantage of this system. So, well, I only hit my 7-iron 120. And that's what I'm sticking to. Well, he's going to manipulate this situation as well. So, it's the right idea, but it can be manipulated, and people will manipulate it like crazy once they figure it out, just like the dang handicap system. So, it is what it is. I would say this. I'd probably rather choose driver and carry distance alone, because you have to face a lot of sometimes coverage. From this tee, I have to land it this far just to have a slight chance at accomplishing the goal. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Well, then what's your average realistic drive? Oh, realistic? Like 160, 70. Whoa. You got to move up then. You're playing the wrong set of tees. So, it's food for thought. Most of y'all are playing the wrong set of tees. I can guarantee you that. I know you don't want to hear it, and you're going to tell me it's crazy anyways, because no, me and my boys always play on this set of tees. And I'm like, I understand what you do. I'm just telling you it ain't right for a lot of you. So, if you want to find out why, you come on down. Anyways, as always, I'm going to head out. I got some emails to send and then some teaching to do. Please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends. Tell me what you want to talk about. Please, please, please. Go down in the comment section. Let me know. Twitter at P45KDG. Email P45knuckledowngolf@gmail.com. Okay? I'm at the golf pub, folks. Come and see us. First of all, if it's rainy, if it's cold, if it's hot, like the gnats, whatever the reason, nighttime, go play golf. Go check it out. You'll love it. And it's where I'm teaching. So during the day when they're not so busy, and whatnot, and weekends, Saturday mornings, whatnot, I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do this. It's important. Take the evaluation lesson. You can't make the proper decisions without it. Go check it out on the Facebook, on the website, or wherever you want to. And right now, evaluations are free. It ain't going to be like that forever. So take advantage while you can. You can make a proper decision and get the information you need, because most of y'all don't have that information and you're making decisions. You got to have this info first. So hit me up. Let me know. For now, Ryan Carpenter, No BS Golf, presented by P45, Knuckle Down Golf. Take care, folks.